is Tori Pritchett. I am a first-year grad student at Johnson C. Smith University for the MSW program, and I am interning with the Living Archives Project. So I'll give you a little background history of what the project is. The Living Archives Project is a 3-year initiative to gather, preserve, and share local history, stories, creative pieces, memories, and more about the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on Black, Hispanic, Asian, and Indigenous people in Mecklenburg County. Today it is September 13th, 2022, and this week there were 277 reported cases of COVID-19 in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg County, which shows a 14% decrease over the last 2 weeks. So therefore, the subject and I, we're comfortable not wearing a mask. So what I'd like for you to do is introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Aniya Jackson. I go to Johnson C. Smith University, and I'm here, happily.
All right, so what we started off by doing, I had Aniya do a hand map. And if you could explain what the hand map means to you for me.
I just picked 5 things that describe me and who I am as a person. Also, I was asked to draw more lines in my hand, like explaining how I feel about the journeys in my life and also about the journeys in my life during COVID. And who was there for me and around me and helped me and what I learned during COVID.
Okay, and you forgot to mention that you play softball, because I do want you to dive into how that kind of affected you during the pandemic. So, let's start by saying, where is home for you right now?
I live in Noda, Charlotte.
Okay. And how long have you been in the Charlotte area?
For 4 years now. I've lived in Charlotte for 4 years, since I started college.
Okay. And how did COVID-19, how did the pandemic affect you as far as your school and day-to-day life?
It did affect me a lot because I had to move. I was living here in the Mosaic Village, and I had to move into an apartment because I was working at the time, and I can't just quit your job and stuff like that. So I had to move, and we had softball. Softball ended. I had to move my apartment, so I basically I've lived through my whole entire life and just moved to Charlotte, which was fine. It's amazing. I love Charlotte, but it was still a lot to deal with at the age of 20.
Okay. And as far as you moving so suddenly, especially with the season ending and things like that, how did that impact you? Because I believe at that time you were leading in the CIAA as far as being the number 1 softball player, correct?
Yes, I was leading the CIAA in home runs at the time. It just happened. I mean, life happens. Life hits you all different kind of ways. You just have to roll with the punches. If COVID didn't hit, I might have went all conference that year. It would have been things would have been a little bit different for me. But I don't regret any of the things that happened, and it just is what it is.
Now, did you struggle with some of the policies and regulations as far as social distancing?
For sure. For sure. When COVID hit, I had just got my own apartment, and I actually moved into an apartment with a couple of my friends. So we did not social distance as much as we should. We were doing a lot. We went to Miami a week before everything got shut down. It was super fun. COVID is not supposed to be a fun thing, but I did have a really good time because all my life I played softball. So to get a break from that was a big deal for me. And get some time to myself, which that was pretty cool, but it still did have a big impact on everything in everyone's life, including my parents. Both of my parents got COVID, and my dad, he got COVID, and he had 2 seizures, and he had to go to the hospital, and he was there for 2 to 3 weeks. So, I mean, it impacted people a lot.
All right, and with you saying you went on a vacation, of course, before the pandemic, things were definitely different. So, as far as maybe some regulations that you experienced at the restaurants, how was that for you? Or even, where you might have stayed, or, being out on the beachfront, was it a curfew at the time? How was that for you?
We went to Miami, so Miami really doesn't have that many rules, honestly. The Airbnb that we stayed in, they did have a lot of rules, and they said that we could only have a certain amount of people in there at a certain amount of time, which was super new for Airbnbs and stuff like that. But the restaurants and things like that, it didn't get super bad until I got back to Charlotte and was actually seeing everything and stuff like that people were saying to wear masks and to social distance, like in stores and stuff like that. Try not to go out and do as much. So that was that situation.
What do you think you gained from the pandemic?
I think I learned how to save money a lot. I worked a lot, and it helped me figure out what I wanted to do with my life, honestly. I mean, I'm not so sure, but I know the things that I don't want to do. So that helped me a lot, and it helped me become a lot closer with some of my friends and family.
Okay, and what are some of the challenges that you may have faced during the pandemic?
I stopped a semester of school because I couldn't. I was working all the time, like every day. I would go to work from 7 to 7, and then sometimes I would go to work from 7 to 5, and then go to my job as a server and work from 5 to 12. So I couldn't do school and work at the same time. So that was a lot for me personally. So I took off a semester at Smith.
Gotcha. And adjusting to the new technology and Zoom and things like that, how was that for you?
It was Zoom was fine at first, but then like I said, like I worked all the time. I babysat kids and then I served, so that was a lot for me. But once I did get the hang of it, like the second semester when I went back, everything was fine. Nothing was super bad. Everything was super easy, and the teachers were very understanding of everything.
This was when you came back in person, or when it was still online?
When it's still online.
Did it affect you not being able to actually be in the presence of your peers?
I feel like for the most part, my friends and I were face to face. We didn't really have any issues with that because most of the time if we wanted to do something, we were still going to do it. I wasn't with like my main friends. I was just with some like the people that I lived with and some of our other friends. Gotcha.
Now, as far as the communication with the professors and things like that, do you think it is a difference now? And difference, I'd say, back then and now?
Like before COVID?
So when COVID was...
Like when COVID hit and then now?
Yeah.
I think that it's better because we actually are in person. Me personally, I don't like Zoom because honestly, you really can't communicate with someone. And if you want to like talk to them like face to face, it's different. Like you get to see people's body language and things like that. You can't, if I'm on Zoom, I could have on pajama pants and just a nice top and you would never know, honestly. So for me, I think it is like a big difference because you get to actually experience that person-to-person contact, and I think that helps a lot of people because you get to actually know what's going on, actually participate in class. It's not like your camera's on or off. Like you get to actually be there, and if you have a question, it's asked and answered. You don't have to email. I think it is a big difference.
Okay. And as far as your day-to-day routine, how was that during COVID?
When COVID first hit, I was working a lot. Well, when COVID first hit, I finished the semester out, and then I was working a lot after that, and then I took off a semester. So I think that at the beginning of COVID, it was kind of hard for me because I was working a lot, and then doing school, and I just couldn't balance both of those things at the same time. It's even hard for me now, and I'm 22 years old.
All right. And was there a time that you were able to help someone with COVID-19?
My roommate, like I would bring her food and stuff like that. Not anyone I didn't know. I wasn't able to like financially or help anybody or anything like that.
And I want to know, how did you feel mentally during that time? Because this is something that, we've never experienced, especially with you being, your age and things like that. It's something that we've never endured. So how was your mental during that time?
I think I was pretty solid. It was a lot to deal with, but me as a person, like, you just have to roll with the punches that come to you. Like, you can't stop it. Like, it's not like, I can be like, like, COVID's just over, because it's not. Like, it's still going on. So you just have to learn how to adapt to different situations and do the best you can. That's literally all you can do.
Did you pick up any new hobbies?
Working, babysitting, nothing much more.
Okay.
Binge watched a lot of shows. Yeah.
And with you being the person that you are now, do you think COVID made you stronger?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm pretty much the same. I mean, you grow as an adult and as a person every single day. Like, every life experience that you have is making you a bigger and better person.
Okay. And that's pretty much where you are at now with things, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as, I know you said you're here now, so NODA would be home for you?
Yes. I have an apartment in NODA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as you keeping in contact with your family, how was that?
I talk to my mom and dad every day. My sister was just up here September 4th for her birthday. I live with my cousin. My family is just my family. We're super tight.
All right. And what do you think your future will look like now that you've experienced, the pandemic?
Hopefully good. I'm just kidding. I hope that the future holds for me a good job. That's really about it. Like, that's really what I want, a good job and a way to save money and do the things that I want to do in my life. I look forward to being able to have fun. Have fun, make money, and just be happy in general.
Okay. And is there anything else that you would like to share about your overall experience of COVID? Is there any, helpful advice that you might give to anybody, something that might have helped you keep pushing?
Things are hard. You just have to keep going. Like, day to day, everything's gonna get hard. Like, if you let one thing ruin your whole entire day, then you're never gonna make it to the next day with a happy smile on your face. Like, you just have to keep going and push through everything, because at the end of the day, you're just not gonna drop dead right there at that moment just because something went wrong. Like, it's okay.
Okay. Well, I did have the pleasure of interviewing you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here.
Of course.
Thank you.